Open, 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 and open. It's snowing, but everything's open. Quick message from our sponsor, Sutherland Group, hiring Class 1 drivers in BC's Lower Mainland, the Okanagan, and the Kootenays. Also in Washington and Alberta. And of course, there's lots of other openings like brokers and mechanics and HR and stuff like that. Just go to sutco.ca, click careers, and you'll get a list of all the job openings there are. Always lots of job openings, different fields, different areas all over Canada. And then make sure you use promo code JuanFan to let them know I sent you. Get an extra $100 on your first payday. And make sure you use my name as a reference. Any referral bonuses I get to split with you.
Bottle. Oh, yeah. Got more right here, dude.
Well, I guess I'll be bleeping out the VHF radio already. We're gonna
Oh, that's right. That's it, yep. It's passing lady class always.
Alright, we'll turn that down because I don't want to keep editing everything out. Look at all those frozen waterfalls right beside the roadway here. Yeah, I was hoping to use the outdoor cam, the trailer cam, or the roof cam, or the rear facing cam. I've got enough outside mounts I can put all three cameras outside now. Just going through Hope. Oh, those are some big potholes. Then we're going to climb Hope Slide. With this kind of snowfall, we'll see what it's like. Hopefully they've done a good job of clearing the highway. You can just zip right on up. It's just after lunch here. Pulled over to one of the truck stops here in Hope and had lunch. And of course, it is quite cool out. It is plus 1.5. I think for Hope Slide here, I'll have to turn the lockers on. We'll see. So yeah, right at this in Hope, Highway 1 goes northbound. Highway 3, which we are taking, goes eastbound. And then Highway 5, the Coquihalla, goes northeast. Intersection of like three major highways. Excuse me. Just coming in from the cold. My lungs have to adjust to the warmer air inside. Yeah, if Jess was here, she'd be accusing me of having a frog in my throat. Yeah, so today morning was quite interesting. Pulled in at 7 a.m. sharp, got the first half of the load loaded in Coquitlam. And then the second half was supposed to be in Maple Ridge, so I drove all the way to Maple Ridge, pulled in, and they have no clue what I'm talking about. So they start making phone calls, I start making phone calls. I get an actual copy of the order, and it's on the order it's clear I'm supposed to pick up in Maple Ridge, but they don't have the product and didn't know that I was coming. They were not expecting me, so they sent me all the way back to Langley. There's nobody behind us, so I'm not bothering going into the granny lane, since it's only here during the merging onto the highway here, and then it ends again. So if there's nobody wanting to pass me, I just stay in this lane. So I drove all the way to Langley and loaded there. They were expecting me. But then I had the loader a little miffed at me, because I pulled in, walked to the front office, got the paperwork, and he said, yep, just give that to the guys in the back. Cool. Pulled around to the back. I've loaded here many times. And I get the truck ready, move the tarps around, and then I just wait. And eventually a forklift driver comes up and goes, this isn't drive-up service. You have to go bring the paperwork to us on the inside. I'm like, what? I've been here many, many times, and a forklift driver always comes to me right away and grabs my paperwork. He goes, well, that's not how it works anymore. Okay, where do I bring the paperwork to? Don't worry about it. I'll bring it to them. But normally inside that bay. But okay, if you guys change the rules. I haven't been there for a few months. Expect people not to know. 99% of all places we pull in as truck drivers, they prefer us to either check into the front office or just wait in our truck until a forklift driver comes. Which I did both of over here. That's just what the general rule of thumb is. So most truck drivers are going to do that. Look at that beautiful, beautiful snow-covered trees here. This is going to be a hard climb. I'm not super, super heavy. I'm heavy, but not crazy heavy. There's a bunch of cedar on the front and then drywall on the back. So I'm well within the weight limits, but not very light either. No flashing lights, good. I didn't want to chain up. Looks like it'll be decent here. And we're climbing right now. Before we start the big climb, we're still climbing. I can't do speed limit on any of this, but we're going to really slow down here. So, four-way flashers on. Man, I love this beautiful fresh snowfall. Just gorgeous. We're heading up to Sunshine Valley and then into Manning Park. I honestly was not expecting this, because when I woke up in the morning, didn't feel like it was going to be snowing or raining. It was overcast, but not like this. We are doing 48 kilometers per hour. I don't know if you guys can see the snowflakes, but they're pretty big. I think on a day like this, we're mostly just going to use the dash cam. The passenger cam, looks like that one's getting quite dirty. And then of course the shoulder cam, can't really see how beautiful it is outside. So on a day like this, I could get away with only running one camera. Down to 45 kilometers, but we're upshifting. It's a little bit flatter here. Almost to the top here, and then we got some flat lands for a little bit, and then we climbed up some more in Manning Park. Hope Slide viewpoint. Turn left in 1 kilometer. It's pretty neat seeing the slide. On a day like this, you wouldn't be able to see it well with a heavy snowfall, but on a clearer day, it's definitely worth checking out the rock slide. So I always hear the stories about the people that miraculously didn't die in this big rock slide, and the people that did die, they're still under there. They under many feet of rock. There's a car, at least one car in there. I can't remember, but the heroes with a bus that saved the whole bus load. But nobody ever talks about how long the road was closed. When the rock slide happened, how long was Highway 3 closed? And did the rock slide happen before Coquihalla existed? I gotta look those dates up. So if the Coquihalla didn't exist, we'd have to drive Highway 1 all the way around. For how long did people have to drive around while this new highway was getting built? Guess I should pull up a calendar and look at some dates. But I'm sure some of you guys are doing it already. Was the highway closed for a few months? A few years? Sunshine Valley. Where's your Sunshine Valley, huh? Where's your sunshine? Welcome to Manning Park. that sign is here on the left-hand side. Big marmot. Sculpture. Carving, wood carving. This is so beautiful. I never get old. Never gets old driving through here. Not a very forgiving highway though. It eats up a lot of big rigs and cars. Not a lot of room for error. Avalanche area for the next 27 kilometers. No stopping. "27 kilometers, huh?" I've definitely stopped and slept inside of those 27 kilometers. Definitely. So not only have I stopped, I've spent the night. Nice pillow there to sleep. Not a very big one. Get one truck in there. no flashing lights here either, which is good news. Yeah, roads seem pretty good. It's minus 2 degrees Celsius now, but the roads are wet. Another logging truck. I wonder where those logs are all going. Yeah, for how much snow they've gotten up here the last 2 or 3 days, these roads are much better condition than I expected. And of course, with all the snow, all the trees have all the snow piled on the top of them. Right after a fresh snowfall is always the most beautiful time to come through the mountains. And yes, we're coming right into my favorite part of this highway. Carve some corners. I think these corners would be a lot of fun in the summer on a motorcycle. Even more fun if the road was closed. Of course, it is a pretty rough road. That would be less than fun on a motorcycle. So this is where the Skagit River starts. This snow all ends up in the Skagit going through Washington. Becomes a pretty darn massive river. A couple more hard climbs before we get to the top of Allison Pass. And of course I have to do a lot more summits today. We're going to do Allison Summit, Sunday Summit, Richter Summit, Anarchist Summit, E-Holt Summit, Paulson Summit, Strawberry Summit. So we're going to be doing seven summits today. So this is only the first of 7 passes. All of that in 6 or 7 hours. Basically a summit every hour. Pretty bumpy road here. I kept seeing tracks in the water on the road. I'm like, we might be catching up with another semi. Vesper, based out of Costin in the Smilkameen Valley. Next climb starts. And those chain up lights are off as well. That's the last one for this pass. Awesome if you could have stayed in the other lane a little longer and not thrown more rocks at me. Got 2 rock chips in this windshield, which is actually pretty good. When was the last time we replaced this windshield? This one's done good. Right over here is where the noose used to be, with the cigarette hanging on the noose. That was put up after a huge forest fire here that was started by somebody flicking out their cigarette. Flicking their cigarette out of the window. And a big sign that said, whoever flicked the cigarette should be hung here as well, or something like that. I'm sure on today's day and age, a sign like that by the government would be unacceptable. But yeah, you are a jackwagon if you flick a cigarette in BC. Just don't do that here. Went down to 46. Now we're gaining speed again. 46 kilometers. white cars from Ontario. Boss was hinting that I might get an Ontario run. I told him, if you're going to pull me off the quad deck and put me on a Super B, it better be an Ontario run or a Quebec run. That Vesper truck that we passed is catching up with us. How is this possible? Must have a different torque range. At a certain speed, he is faster than me. A certain grade, steeper it is, maybe he's got more horsepower than I have, but a heavier load, so I don't know. What would make you faster at a steeper grade, and I'm faster at a less steep grade? Maybe I'm just faster around corners. Cars from Washington. Here we go. Allison Pass Summit. Elevation 1,342 meters. water here. They're replacing these bridges here, so there's 2 bridges here back to back. The last couple of years they've been fixing the bridges on this side of the road, and now they're fixing the bridges on the other side. So we are going over the new bridge. Yeah, it's a little rough. Going over the new bridges here, and they've started pouring all the foundations for the bridges on the other side there. And the snow keeps getting cleared, so they must be doing minimal work. Over here at the bridges. Alright, hammer down. Not sure what's going on with the washer fluid. Every now and then it doesn't spray any. I'm like, am I out? But I'm not. I just have to stop and then try again. Well, we're up to the resort over here, Manning Park Resort. Lightning Lake is off to our right-hand side, and then off to our left-hand side there's a beautiful, beautiful drive up to the top of a mountain. Just gorgeous views up there, gorgeous hiking trails. Highly, highly recommend. Checking out Manning Park. Want to go kayaking or hiking, camping, this is the place to do it. It gets very busy on long weekends, so I don't recommend long weekends. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you for supporting. See what the weather turns out like. I might shoot our bonus video for the weekend. Although here all the snow has been cleared off of the trees already. Must have got some wind come through here. But if you want to see the bonus video, just hit that join button down below, and every Saturday there's a bonus video just for you guys that support me monetarily. And I've got it set up so it's 99 cents a month if you want to start that low. You can also do $5 a month, and you can do 25 bucks a month, and you can change and fluctuate between those if you want. People do. Very fluid. It's like a river, come and go. So thank you for everybody that does that. We're slowly paying off the new camera and the microphone and that new app that I just bought for the maps at the beginning of these videos. But that was fairly cheap. So slowly we'll get them paid off, and then we'll see what comes after that. I'm kind of leaning toward a high-end laptop so I can edit faster and quicker and nicer, do some better quality editing. I am out of here. You guys rock.